The visit. I need you to understand something before I finish this. Everything I'm about to tell you happened. I know how it sounds. I know. But it happened. And if you're listening to this, then it worked. This is being shared with Secrets Unheard because I need this out there. I need someone to know. Someone who isn't me. Because I'm starting to think I can't trust myself anymore. It started with a message. 3 weeks ago, I received a text from a number I didn't recognize. Just 2 lines. It's been so long. I think it's time you came home. And then a name. Mara Hollins. The moment I read it, something clicked. Mara. My childhood friend. My best friend, actually, from ages 7 to 15, before my family moved across the country. We lost touch the way everyone did before social media made forgetting impossible. I hadn't thought about her in years. Decades, maybe. But there she was. Reaching out. And for some reason I still can't fully explain, I said yes. I told her I'd come visit. I booked the flight that same night. It felt important. It felt like something I was supposed to do. The drive from the airport took 2 hours. Rural route. Pine trees. Gray sky the whole way. When I pulled up to the address she'd sent me, I stopped at the end of the driveway and just sat there. The house was old. 2 stories. White with green shutters, most of them crooked. A porch with a swing that didn't move despite the wind. And here's the thing, here's the first thing that didn't make sense. I knew this house. Not because I'd seen pictures. Not because she described it, that I knew the way the upstairs window on the right was always slightly open. I knew the 3rd porch step creaked. I knew there was a crack in the foundation on the east side shaped like a river. But I had never been there before. I told myself it was nothing. Déjà vu memory overlap. The brain filling in gaps. I got out of the car. Mara answered before I knocked. She looked older, of course. We were both in our late 30s now. But there was something in her expression I didn't expect. Something patient. Like she'd been waiting much longer than a few hours. You made it, she said. Her voice was calm. Too calm. I made it, I said, and I laughed, and she didn't. She stepped aside to let me in. The hallway was narrow. Wallpaper with small yellow flowers. Photographs lining the left wall. I glanced at them as I passed, just quick looks, old relatives, faded colors, a wedding I didn't recognize. And then I stopped. One of the frames near the end of the hall. It was me. Me, maybe 10 years ago, sitting on that porch swing outside. Smiling. At home. I turned to ask Mara about it, but she was already walking toward the kitchen. You'll want to meet Lily, she said over her shoulder. Lily was sitting at the kitchen table, drawing with crayons. She was 8. Maybe 9. Blonde hair like Mara's. Blue eyes that didn't blink when she looked at me. This is my daughter, Mara said. I smiled. Waved like an idiot. Hi, Lily. The girl tilted her head. Just slightly. Like a dog hearing a strange sound. Then she said, You came back. I looked at Mara. She must be thinking of someone else, I said. Mara didn't answer. She just poured me a cup of coffee and set it on the counter. The mug had my name on it. My actual name. Printed. Like it had been there for years. I picked it up. Looked at her. Mara. Drink it while it's warm, she said. You always liked it too hot. I stayed the night. I told myself it would be strange not to. But I didn't sleep well. The guest room felt familiar. The bed was already made with a specific type of quilt I recognized but couldn't place. The dresser had 3 drawers, and I knew, before I opened them, that the bottom one would stick. It did. At some point in the middle of the night, I heard footsteps in the hall. Light. A child's weight. Then a small voice, just outside my door. "Do you remember now?" I didn't answer. I lay there until the footsteps went away. In the morning, I told myself I dreamed it. The second day was worse. I kept noticing things I shouldn't have known. The loose tile under the kitchen sink. The window in the upstairs bathroom that wouldn't lock. The drawer in the hall table where Mara kept spare keys. I knew all of it. But more than that, Mara kept saying things. Small things. Almost throwaway comments. "Remember how you used to sit in that chair? You always forgot to turn off the hall light. I fixed the step you broke." Each time, I laughed nervously, told her I didn't know what she meant. And each time, she just nodded. Like she expected that answer. On the second night, I found Lily in the living room, standing by the fireplace. She was staring at a photograph on the mantel. I hadn't noticed it before. Me. Mara. And a man I didn't recognize standing between us. "Who is that?" I asked. Lily didn't turn around. "That's Dad." I looked at the photo again. The man was tall. Dark hair. Kind eyes. And I felt something then. Something I can't describe. Grief. Real grief. Heavy. Familiar. Like I'd felt it before. Like I'd earned it. I didn't know that man. But part of me, some deep, unreachable part of me, missed him. I found Mara in the kitchen afterward. I couldn't hold it in anymore. "Mara, what's going on?" She didn't answer. She just looked at me. Really looked at me. "What do you remember?" she asked. "What do you mean? When you think of me? When you think of this house? What do you actually remember?" I wanted to say, nothing. I wanted to say I'd never been here. That I'd met her once, as a child, decades ago, and that was the end of it. But I couldn't. Because I did remember something. I remembered standing in this kitchen. Arguing. Crying. I remembered a door slamming. A car starting. And I remembered a voice, Lily's voice, screaming, "Don't go." I sat down. Mara sat across from me. And then she told me. She told me everything. I lived here. Not visited. Lived. For 4 years, I was here. I was family. Mara was my wife. Lily was my stepdaughter. And the man in the photograph, the man I didn't recognize. He was Mara's first husband. The man I replaced. The man whose death I still, apparently, refuse to accept. Because here's the part one can't make sense of. The part that keeps me up. Mara says I leave. Every time. I leave. I vanish. I go back to my apartment or my city or my job, and then, months later, I return. Acting like a stranger. Acting like it's the first visit. "You forget," she said. "You always forget." She said I've done this 4 times now. 4 visits. 4 disappearances. 4 complete erasures of everything that came before. And each time, she waits. She lets me in. Because she doesn't know what else to do. Because she hopes maybe this time, I'll stay. Maybe this time, I'll remember. I don't remember. That's the truth. That's why I'm recording this. Because I can already feel it slipping. The details. The specifics. Mara's face is blurring in my mind. Lily's voice sounds distant. And I'm scared. I'm so scared that I'll wake up tomorrow and this will all feel like a dream. Like something I imagined. Like something that happened to someone else. Lily came to my room again last night. She didn't knock. She just stood in the doorway. And she asked me a question I'll never forget. "When you come back next time," she said, "will you bring it?" I asked her what she meant. She said, "The thing you took. The thing that made you leave." I told her I didn't take anything. She didn't argue. She just said, "You always say that." Then she walked away. I'm leaving tomorrow. Part of me doesn't want to. Part of me wants to stay and remember and rebuild whatever I've apparently destroyed. But the other part of me, the part that keeps winning, just wants to go home. And that's the worst part. I don't know which home I mean anymore. There's one more thing. Before I left tonight, I went through the drawers in the guest room. Just looking. And I found something. A recorder. This recorder. There were 4 files already on it. All of them labeled with dates from the past 6 years. All of them in my voice. And every single one starts the exact same way. I need you to understand something before I finish this. Everything I'm about to tell you happened. I don't know if I'm the first version of me to share this. I don't know if the others tried and failed. But this time, I'm sending it out. To strangers. To anyone who will listen. I'm sending it to Secrets Unheard, because maybe, just maybe, if enough people remember this story, one of them can remind me. I'm going to sleep now. Tomorrow, I'll drive back to the airport. And maybe I'll remember. Maybe I'll listen to this recording in a week, a month, a year. Or maybe I'll just delete it. Like I apparently always do. So if you ever see me, and I seem lost. If I ever say, I don't know you. Please. Play this for me. Tell me I was here. Tell me they're still waiting. Tell me I came back. If this story stayed with you, like the video. Subscribe to Secrets Unheard, because some secrets should never stay buried.